So before you all think that this is some type of troll and that Jerry, you're pulling my bacon here, son. You're pulling my chain. I don't know if it's going to be a new series or whatever, but roster wars. And in this, what we're going to be doing is comparing past year's rosters and compare them to today's rosters. We might even compare rosters from the 90s and 80s to the 90s. Who knows? Sky's the limit. But I've been thinking of doing this series for quite some time. Hadn't had the balls to actually do it, but here we are. And today we're going to be talking about the TNA roster versus the AEW roster. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to go through every single fucking person in AEW. You already know who's currently on the roster. But let's go through who was actually on the roster. Let's talk about who was on the TNA roster. Are you ready, kids? I know I am. AJ Styles. Automatically better than most of these people. AJ Styles, for anyone who doesn't know, recently talked about that he's not a fan of CM Punk because he's, CM Punk. Which is kind of hilarious to me. It's kind of hilarious. You have Abyss, who I thought was a fantastic wrestler. Far better than that transsexual T-Rex that they have currently on there. Al Snow Al Snow was on the TNA roster. Alex Shelley, I have to admit, Motor City Machine Guns, actually one of the tag teams that were actually semi-decent. In fact, I don't think that they get enough praise. And I don't think, because personally for me, I thought the Motor City Machine Guns were miles better than the Young Bucks. All of their matches with the Young Bucks and Motor City Machine Guns, I actually thought that they were actually a lot better. So, Amazing Red, I know you all probably remember him. Amazing Red, I thought he was alright, it was decent enough. Angelina Love, The Beautiful People, which, by the way, just saying this, I just want to say this, I actually think the female roster in TNA back then was way better than even some of the women that we're seeing currently now. Now, I just want to say this straight off the bat. Some of you might be surprised at me talking positive about TNA. That's how bad AEW is currently now. That's how fucking bad it is. The fact that TNA 2010 is way better. Austin Creed. You might not know of a new little up-and-comer. His name was Austin Creed. That's Xavier Woods, for anyone who doesn't know. That's right, Xavier Woods is in TNA. Awesome Kong, one of actually a fantastic female wrestler. Her, literally just swinging people about was just fucking hilarious. I don't know who... Bobby Lashley! That's right, Bobby Lashley's on this roster. I will say TNA didn't use him really properly. They really, really didn't. I will say this, WWE did actually do a lot. Could you, the thing is, it's so hard to believe that Bobby Lashley was in the 2010 roster in TNA. Bobby Roode, Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna lie, Bobby Roode in 2010, I think it was 2011, and it was, the song, I'm off the chain, gonna go get the green. I think that was his theme song, if anyone remembers that. I actually liked him. I remember he was a world champion, and I remember seeing him from Beer Money. It's sad because I think what they're doing with Bobby Roode now in WWE is kind of shit. But I thought Bobby Roode in TNA was actually pretty cool. Brian Kendrick, yeah, he was there. Brian Knobbs. Do you remember Hulk Hogan? Who we'll get to, by the way. We'll get to Hulk Hogan because this is such a... this roster's already better than AEW. But Brian Knobbs, they brought them in for one or two matches as the Nasty Boys, and it was a fucking joke. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't great. I remember who we're gonna get to, Billy Ray. But I remember Billy Ray goes, the Nasty Boys? Who gives a fuck about the Nasty Boys? Billy Ray, who I actually thought his single run, especially I think looking back on it, his run in Aces and Eights wasn't actually appreciated. And I think the problem with the Aces and Eights, while it was, I actually enjoyed it at the start, which we're going to get into, it was really, really good. It just ran its course. It was like a story that just didn't stop. But I actually like the Aces and Eights storyline. There was actually, I don't know if this is true or not, but there was rumors that apparently they wanted to make like a Ring of Honor version of Aces and Eights, and with the bottom rocker, they were gonna have like Ring of Honor. Do you know why like most motorcycle gangs would have like, you know, on the bottom rocker California or New York or whatever it might be? There was rumors that they were gonna do like different divisions for the Aces and Eights, and then they decided to do the, you know, Bullet Club, which really, looking back on it, Bullet Club, like at the start, like some people, I wasn't really interested in it, but I presume at the start it was good. It really went downhill when Kenny Omega took over. I'm just saying. Chris Sabian, Motor City Machine Guns, I thought that they were actually a good tag team. Christy Hemme, remember her as the ring announcer? Cookie, wasn't she like a fucking reality TV star? The Pope, do you remember the Pope? Honest to God, like I remember there was actually talk of them gonna put like the TNA title on him, and I thought he was fucking amazing. And it was such a shame because they were, at this time, I believe that they were pushing Ken Anderson, who, by the way, talk about someone who really was completely underutilized. Ken Anderson, TNA did not book him properly. Like, I know they gave him the World Heavyweight Championship, but once he got the World Heavyweight Championship, I think they reserved him to like Aces and Eights like background guy, and yeah, like they really didn't do well with his booking, to be honest with you. D'Lo Brown, do you remember D'Lo Brown was in this? Daphne, rest in peace. If you want a proper women's match, none of this bullshit that you see, but a proper hardcore women's match, watch a fucking Daphne match. It was actually pretty good. Christopher Daniels, I'm sure you all know, still going to this day. And he was a brave ages and then. Jesus, I think that guy's gonna wrestle like till he's fucking 80. Devon, obviously, Team 3D were in this, and they actually were having some really good matches. Dixie Carter, yeah. In an alternate universe, like, the thing is with this roster, if you look at this roster head on, it's an actual packed roster. The problem is that there was too many cooks to spoil the broth. And that's why, like, even, like, because the thing is, the caliber of wrestling was so high now. Like, back then, it was high because you had, like, we were just after the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. And then everyone thought, and everyone kept saying TNA was going to be amazing. And then, obviously, then, once 2011, 2012 hit, it really didn't pick up steam afterwards. But I thought 2010, so far his roster's a lot better than AEW. Doug Williams, I don't know who the fuck that was. Was that guy that was like the Wolf or something? I don't know. I can't remember. And he tried to interrupt like Ric Flair's legendary promo or something. Eric Bischoff, I remember that. Like Eric Bischoff like had these segments where he was like, so what are you doing then, huh? Like he had these random segments. Eric Young, this was back when he was a joke, I believe. Like they were making him like he was a comedic person, and he had one of the funny segments. It was him and Kurt Angle, and like the horse, like he started giving the horse laxatives. I don't know why I remember this, but he gave like the horse laxatives, and then Kurt Angle walked past and went, "Man, he's gonna shit himself." Someone fucking YouTube that shit. It's actually fucking funny. My god, we're 9 minutes already in. Alright, I'm gonna speed run this. Gunner, he was supposed to be like an up and coming prospect, but nothing really happened. Hernandez, Homicide, obviously you know who that is. Hulk Hogan. I remember when Hulk fucking Hogan was debuting on this. This actual Hulk Hogan going into TNA made me watch it. And it's such a shame that, unfortunately, like, whether people like to admit it or not, Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, they took somewhat of creative control, although Dixie Carter was the one that would say, yes sir, 3 blanks full sir, and keep fucking nodding and nodding and nodding. The problem is with that is that I think that they should have had a proper booker, not just the Eric Bischoff Hulk Hogan show, although Hulk Hogan still, I thought he was funny actually in this. James Storm, like, James Storm's kind of weird. Like, he was in TNA, NXT, and then he refused, and then he went back to TNA again. Maybe he might come back with Triple H, I don't know. Jay Lethal, Jesus Christ, TNA. Like, they should have kept Jay Lethal, man. Like, I don't know what they were at with booking Jay Lethal. Jeff Hardy, okay, so, look, I know I'm... Right, Jeff Hardy in 2010, as you all know, I think it was 2010, 2011, where he did the Notorious Sting thing. I'm not gonna lie, I actually loved his heel persona. The problem is obviously he took a lot of drugs. He took a lot of drugs. So, it's such a shame, you know. Jeff Jarrett doesn't get enough credit, because I remember when Jeff Hardy came back, it was like 2013, and like Jeff lost like 3 times in a row to put Jeff Hardy over. And I like, look, I know some like I've criticized Jeff Jarrett with the whole Global Force Wrestling weirdo crap that he pulled. Remember when he thought that Global Force Wrestling was gonna be better than fucking WWE? Do you remember that? But yeah, Jeremy Borash, I have to say, I think he's working in WWE now. Jerry Lynn, to be honest with you, like, some people like him. He's kind of like what AEW would do. They're like, you need to know who he is, and I didn't really know him that well. Sorry, I didn't really like him, really. Jerry Sags from the Nasty Boys, Jesse Neal, Jimmy Hart. Jesus, Jimmy Hart was in this. Kazarian, who I think, like, if you look at, like, someone that's been underutilized in AEW, Kazarian is definitely it. Like, he was actually amazing in the ring, and he was one of those kind of, like, high flyers that was actually enjoyable and actually had character. Kevin Nash. Yeah, Kevin Nash was on this. I personally thought his commentary was hilarious. Kurt Angle was on this roster. Kurt fucking Angle. Little Red, I remember, yeah, this is when, like, I remember, I think they called him Big Red or something like that there, but I forget. Madison Rain, I fucking fancied the absolute fuck out of Madison Rain. She was hot as fuck. I don't care what anyone says. Magnus, yeah, he kind of started off here. Magnus, like, I think he was okay, but, like, I remember he had that title for, like, 100 years in fucking, where is he at now? He's in fucking, I can't keep up with all these wrestling shows, but, where the fuck is he? NWA, I remember at NWA, he was in there and he had the title for about 1 million years. Matt Morgan was just so underutilized as well, like, man. Like, Max Buck don't really... Mick fucking Foley was on this roster. Mickey James, Mike Today, Miss Tessmacher. Told you, like, the women in this are a lot better than compared to the AEW roster. Mr. Anderson, I think one of the, like, if anyone hasn't seen it, actually watch his TNA run from 2010. It's actually really good, where he was saying, I'm an asshole. It was actually fucking good. Really, really good. I can't believe I'm praising TNA. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? Murphy, don't really know that much. Nigel McGuinness, ODB. ODB, do you remember her? Orlando Jordan, do you remember he came out in this like bisexual gimmick? And like immediately no one knew what the fuck was going on. He just came in with like squirted cream all over him. Raven, Rhino, Ric Flair. Ric Flair literally was TNA in 2010. He just started down in a Smirnoff Ice and just went fucking nuts. And it was like, I'm sorry, but like Ric Flair unfiltered 2010 in TNA was fucking hilarious. Rob Terry, I remember him. They were going to try and make him like a main eventer, but I don't know what happened there. Robbie E. Wasn't he the guy from the Jersey Shore or something like that? Rob Van Dam, I remember they gave him like the world title. I think it was actually the very first episode Hulk Hogan took over. They gave the world title to Rob Van Dam. Roxy, Sabu, Samoa Joe. Although I think Samoa Joe was, I heard he was a lot better in like 2006. I wasn't too keen on him in TNA, to be honest with you. Scott Hall, yeah. He's a legend, you know, but obviously we all know what happened to him in TNA. Scott Steiner was literally, I actually loved the promos of Scott Steiner. Like, y'all know the mathematical promo. Actually watch, I think it was 2008 or something like that. There was a Main Event Mafia, and it was Scott Steiner doing announcement, and he went, "One dirty bitch, OTB." See, this is the thing that TNA got right, was that it, like, now the thing is, TNA in 2012 onwards started fucking up because it started taking itself too seriously, and it started trying to become like another indie federation where it just didn't work. But like, what I liked about TNA back then is that they just didn't take anything serious. Like, they had Scott Steiner just trying to pronounce words in the ring. Sean Waltman, he was only there for like one episode, I think, if I remember. Shannon Moore, Shark Boy, we all know him. SoCal Val, Stevie Richards, Sting. Do you remember Joker Sting? See, during when Joker Sting was happening, I thought it was the most biggest abomination ever. But I've actually watched YouTube clips of it, and in comparison to wrestling today, it was actually fucking funny. Tara is, wow, you all know my thoughts on Tara. Taz's commentary on TNA. I think Taz's commentary in TNA was prime Taz, where he would just be like I know in AEW he's already trying to, like, you know, this kind of half-baked kind of commentary, but I remember he would have like literally gimmicks, like, you know. But anyway, Sandman, obviously one of my favourite wrestlers. I'm not out saying anything bad about Sandman. Sandman is actually one of my favourite wrestlers. Tommy Dreamer, Tracy Brooks, Val Venus, Velvet Sky. I'm sorry, but like, if there is one woman that is so fucking underutilized, like the fact that WWE didn't hire her after TNA is mind-boggling to me. Because literally, Velvet Sky, the way people are, like, Velvet Sky now is literally Alexa Bliss, Paige, all those girls kind of did act like Velvet Sky. You know what I mean? And I don't think she gets the credit that she actually truly deserves. Like, the fact that she wasn't hired was ridiculous. Winter, I remember Winter. I remember they tried to do a thing where it was like a story where she was like hypnotizing women. TNA 2010 was weird. And like, you compare it, like, I mean, look at that fucking roster and tell me it's not better. It's fucking better than, like, easily fucking better than AEW's current roster. Like, you have Crybaby Punk and Jon Moxley. For some weird reason, Jon Moxley's still talking shit about Vince McMahon now. I don't get it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you want to see more of this? Because I might do a full edited series of this. Like, Roster Wars or something. I don't know. Roster Wars or whatever it is. I personally think that this was TNA 2000, don't get me wrong, it was, all of it was pretty much a fucking shit show, but what I loved about it is that it didn't take itself seriously, while I think after 2012-13, people started taking wrestling seriously. Now, finally, we're starting to see that turn now, and people are now going back to the entertainment side of things. Now, finally, people are realizing, oh shit, AEW's actually fucking trash. So, it's finally good to see that that's now, people have now finally wised up to that now. But anyway, this is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel, signing out. Let me know if you want to see more of this. Peace.